As of November 2015, getting students into UTIPS core is not an automated process. The good news is that many districts and regional service centers near the start of the school year provide teachers a time-saving initial upload of all the classes, student, and teacher accounts into UTIPS. But as we all know, students switch classes and change schools every day. Keeping up with those changes can take some work, and all of your students need to be able to take your tests. USOE is working on implementing a syncing system for UTIPS core that can communicate with the state's student information database called UTREX. But until that sync is in place, the quickest way for you as a teacher to get students to your tests is to use enrollment codes. An enrollment code is sort of a temporary ticket that you can create anytime. Enrollment codes allow you to add students into your UTIPS core classes. If a student is new to your district and is not in the system already, an enrollment code can also be used to create a new account for that student and enroll them into your class. So let's show you how to create enrollment codes and how students use them. Once you've logged into UTIPS core, you'll see some options over here on the left. Let's look in organizations to start. In organizations, you may have some classes that are obscured by a little triangle here, but these are my classes that I am a member of. I'm a teacher of these two classes and I'm a member of this IT sharing group. If I click on one of those classes, new pane opens up to the right, and I'm looking for this enrollment codes tab. Now it'll be empty to start with, but you do have this new button here to create a student enrollment code. Click that, and a random word number combination will be generated for you, and an expiration date 2 weeks away from today will be given. This expiration date only says when the enrollment code will expire, not when the student's enrollment in your class will end. So you don't need to make these for long term or change this date. But just record these numbers and which classes they go with for your students to use. And once you've written those down, click Save, and that code will be available for you for that time. And if you need to add students to multiple classes, just click on the next class, click on Enrollment Code, click New Student Code, and record that new code after you save it. All right, for students to use these enrollment codes to create a brand new account, they'll need to go to the proper district domain for UTIPS, and normally it's just your districtname.utips.org. I'll use SEDC for my organization. Yours will be different. And so now, instead of clicking username and password, because the student does not have an account yet in our district, I'm going to click Create a New Account. It'll ask me for that enrollment code, so I'll add that code for my science class that I have set up, my biology class. Continue. It'll ask me for my student ID number. This will be the student's lunch ID number or their district student identification number. That needs to be unique within the district, so I'm just going to make a number there for myself and click Continue, and then add in my information. Email address is optional. Click Continue, enter a password. You can tell the student what password you want them to use, or you can let them use their own, whichever you do with your class. And now when I click Continue, I am now a student of the demo biology class. I don't have any tests set yet. As a teacher, I'll need to assign those. But so that's how a student would create a brand new account using an enrollment code to get you into your class. If students have an existing account, they would follow the same login steps. They would go to their district.utips.org, log in with their student ID number and whatever password is set. The default password for students is their last name with the first letter capitalized, and that works for pretty much any districts that have uploaded students for you. So to add this new class, if I need to get into the language arts class, I log into UTIPS core, go to Settings on the far left. You may, if students are already in some other classes, you may see tests to take or things like that, but click on the Settings tab and look for this Add an Enrollment Code button. If the students are in a lot of different classes, you may need to scroll to the bottom of this list in this pane. Click on Add Enrollment Code, type it in, and click Apply Enrollment Code. It'll show that I have become a member of that class, but in order for the tests and everything else to show up for this student, they get this message here to log out and log back in for those changes to take effect. So I'm going to log out. I'm going to log back in. And again, I just go back to my settings. And if I wanted to make sure that the students had access to my tests, I would log in as my teacher account. Come here to my assessments. Let's give them this math test. Now I need to make sure that the assessment is available. Make assessment available from whichever date. I'll choose today or October 2015 until I haven't used this for a while. Through forever, or you can pick another date. So you need to make sure that that has been done. And then also under participants, make sure that your students in the biology class or in the language arts class have access. You may need to open up these triangles to see if I can add students individually or add all students for that class. Save that. All right, and now if I log back in as that student, I will show the name of the class here under assessments to take. There's the math test I need to take, and I can begin the test now.